Welcome to City on a Hill Kids Church Online.
I'm Lola.
And I'm Jamie.
Today we're going to be looking at the Good Shepherd.
But that will be after a time of worship.
In the land, ooh Lord, you take my hand. There may be trials all around, but strength I've found. You know my name, you know my heart. You've been here from the very start. You guide my life, you will never leave. You are here with me. You know my name, you know my heart. You've been here from the very start. You guide my life, you will never leave. You are here with me. Oh, my shepherd, I will follow you high and low. You are here, I know. Oh, my shepherd, I will trust in you high and low. For you are with me everywhere I go. There may be giants in the land. Ooh, Lord, you take my hand. There may be trials all around, but strength I've found. Oh, you know my name, you know my heart. You've been here from the very start. You guide my life, you will never leave. Lord, you are here with me. Oh, my shepherd, I will follow you high and low. You are here, I know. Oh, my shepherd, I will trust in you high and low. For you are with me everywhere. Oh, my shepherd, I will follow you high and low. You are here, I know. Oh, my shepherd, I will trust in you high and low. For you are with me everywhere I go. You're never gonna leave me, never gonna leave. You're never gonna leave me, never gonna leave.
We are continuing in the I Am series. This is where Jesus said, I am this or I am that 7 times. Remember, I am is the personal name that God revealed to Moses in the burning bush. It's just like how Jamie is Jamie and Lola is Lola. That's what their names are. So each I am tells us a bit more about the character of Jesus. We've learnt first that Jesus said, I am the bread of life. So Jesus is our spiritual bread. He also said that I am the light of the world. So Jesus shines into our darkness, the darkness of the world, and brings us light, his light. And then we heard that he said, I am the door. And that door is the only way, it is Jesus who is the only way that we can get into God's kingdom. As a matter of fact, Jesus is the one, the only one that saves us. Today, we are going to talk about Jesus being the Good Shepherd. Listen to these verses from John chapter 10, verses 11 to 16. I am the Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd sacrifices his life for the sheep. A hired hand will run when he sees a wolf coming. He will abandon the sheep because they don't belong to him and he isn't their shepherd. And so the wolf attacks them and scatters the flock. The hired hand runs away because he's working only for the money and doesn't really care about the sheep. I am the Good Shepherd. I know my sheep and they know me, just as my Father knows me and I know the Father. So I sacrifice my life for the sheep. I have other sheep too that are not in this sheepfold. I must bring them also. They will listen to my voice, and there will be one flock with one shepherd. John chapter 10, verses 11 to 16. So, we learned a few things about sheep when we did Psalm 23. Not only sheep, we also learnt about the shepherd. Let's start with the sheep. Sheep aren't very bright. They would eat almost anything, whether it's good for them or not too good for them. It depends on who they are following, whoever's in charge. So if they eat something that's not good, it makes them sick. So the shepherd would take them to a place where there is luscious green grass for them to eat, and also where there are still pools for them to drink from. They roll around in the mud, in the dirt, and get their fleece, get their wool really dirty, and they can't clean themselves, so the shepherd keeps them clean. In the warm weather, bugs get onto their heads and move up into their nostrils and even into their eyes. And it's not a very comfortable situation. So you see the sheep butting their heads together, so they'll be butting each other, or anything around they will butt. And this makes them hurt themselves and hurt each other. When the bugs get into their eyes, it could cause blindness. All this head butting would happen so often, and it would be so hard that they could even lose their lives. So what the shepherd does would be to clean the sheep up and pour oil on their heads. Now this oil will prevent the bugs from getting in, and it will treat any bugs that have already gotten in. When a sheep wanders off from the flock, did you know that they can't find their way back to the flock? Neither can they find their way back home. So the shepherd would leave all the sheep that he has there and go and look for the missing sheep and bring them back to the flock. Actually, there's a story in the Bible about the shepherd leaving the 99 sheep to go and look for the one. But that's a story for another day. Sheep can't defend themselves when there's danger around. You know, if a wolf or a bear or a lion comes along, they can't run very far. Neither can they run very fast. I mean, sheep can be so silly that they would run straight into the mouth or the arms of one of these wild animals. They tend to run straight into danger. The shepherd keeps danger away from the sheep and also keeps the sheep away from danger. Did you know that if sheep fall onto their backs, they wouldn't be able to turn themselves the right way round? They'll just stay there with their legs up in the air and probably be bleating. So they need help to be turned back the right way round. These are just a few things about sheep. Now, the Good Shepherd takes care of all the needs of the sheep and even would sacrifice himself for the sheep. If there's a good shepherd, it means that there is a bad shepherd. A bad shepherd is only interested in what they can get from the sheep, their wool, meat and milk. And for those who are paid, those who are what we call hirelings, a hired hand, someone who's paid to look after the sheep. And instead of looking after the sheep, they would probably be counting the money that they have been paid. And so they won't be looking out for danger. And if danger does come, they'll scarper. They'll run away to save their own lives and not bother about the sheep. So they practically leave the sheep in danger, sheep that cannot defend themselves. The Good Shepherd is not like that. And now, we, people, human beings, we are the sheep. And the Good Shepherd is Jesus Christ. He makes sure that we are safe and that we are cared for in every way you can think of. Jesus is our Good Shepherd. And that's the end of the story.
Hey guys, how are you doing? Isn't it wonderful that Jesus is our Good Shepherd who laid down his life on the cross for us, his sheep? So you can see I've drawn this picture of Jesus as a shepherd against the backdrop of a cross, and I've made it kind of like a stained glass window because at this time of year with the low sun shining through, stained glass windows are quite fun to make. And this is another idea you might want to use in a Christmas card. So let's make one of these. First of all, you need a piece of A4 paper and you want to fold it in half. This is actually going to be enough for 2 crosses. And then fold it in half again, but try not to fold it too stiffly, okay? This is just going to be a guideline. And then if you measure up 12 centimeters and fold over at 12 centimeters, okay, so this length is 12 centimeters, I'm folding it there. And then what we're going to do, this is to cut out our cross shape, we're going to measure along the bottom 4 centimeters. Okay, so I've measured 4 centimeters along there, and now I'm going to measure 9 centimeters up here. And draw in that line. And draw in that. Okay, so I folded my paper in half and half again. I've folded it over at 12 centimeters. I've measured in 4 centimeters and measured up 9 centimeters. And now we're going to cut that section out, and that should give us our cross shape. Okay, so it looks like this. When we open it up, we'll have our cross. And in fact, we actually have 2 because we folded the paper in the first place. And if you want to make it as a stained glass window, it's quite good to have it quite thin like that because the sun will shine through. If you decide you want to make it maybe as a card or something or a decoration, you might want to stick the 2 pieces together to make it a little stronger. Okay, once you've got your cross shape, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw in our Jesus. Okay, now I've got him roughly drawn in here because this is difficult to draw upside down. So the first thing we're going to do is draw in the top of his head. We're going to come round for his ears and down for his beard like this. We've done this before. Then we can just draw in the top of his hair, his nose, the rest of his beard and his smiley mouth. There we go. The next thing we're going to draw is the sheep coming behind his shoulders. So the sheep that he's carrying on his back, okay, we can see one side, its bottom coming around here. Oh, I forgot to put in Jesus's hair below his ear, so I'll just put that in. So we've got its bottom coming around this side, and we'll put in its back legs, which would be hanging down over this shoulder. Then at the front, we're going to put in a sort of curly mop hair bit. That's the top of its head. Then we'll just draw in its head and its ears like this. We'll put in 2 eyes and then a little V in a line coming down for its mouth. So there's our sheep. Now there's the front of its body, and we'll draw its front legs coming in, but they're going to go behind our shepherd's hands, because with this hand, he's holding its legs coming down. So here's Jesus's hand, and then we'll put in the end of his sleeve and his arm bending round like that. Okay, so here we are so far. Now the other arm is outstretched and it's holding the shepherd's crook, which is going behind his head, and it's kind of supporting the sheep, but also it's giving us that cross shape to remind us that Jesus laid his life down for us on the cross. So here's the arm coming in, and then we'll draw in the shepherd's crook. So it comes right behind his back and sticks out at both sides, so you can see it there. And then, now we've drawn the crook in, we can complete this hand, which is coming in behind as if it's holding it. There we go. That's all the complicated part. Now we're just going to draw in his robe or coat. So we'll come down one side and down the other side, and then just join up at the bottom. We'll put in the collar of his coat, and then we'll draw in some feet at the bottom, and we'll just put straps across as if he's wearing sandals. So once you've got your drawing, that's the difficult part. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to write in, I am the good shepherd. Okay, in nice big letters. I am the good shepherd, because that is who Jesus is. He is our good shepherd. Right, so the next thing that we're going to do is, if you see in this completed one, I've got this stained glass pattern in the background. So what I did was took a slightly lighter coloured pen and draw in all of these lines. And they can just go really wherever you think it would look good to have a new colour. And you can either make them all straight or you can make them curvy. It really doesn't matter. So you're just going to start drawing in more and more. There you are. You can see I've started to draw them, and what I'll be able to do is colour each of these sections a different colour. When you've got them all drawn in, like this, the next thing you want to do is colour in Jesus. And I've done that with 2 colours of brown. I used a lighter colour of brown for his skin, so his face, his hands, his neck and his feet, and a darker colour of brown for his robe and his hair and his beard. Then I used a black to do the sheep's ears and the sheep's legs, and then a brown again for the crook. And once you've done that, you can choose what colour you want for the background. So this one, I've made greens, blues and purples. This one I think I'm going to make a little bit brighter, so I've got a nice mix of colours. And what you want to do is choose a colour and fill in a few of your shapes, but none that are touching each other. So I've chosen yellow, and now I'm filling in a few different shapes around about Jesus. And now I'll take another colour. I've got this orange, And again, I'm going to fill in a few shapes, but I'm going to make sure that they're not too close to each other because it looks nice to have lots of different colours mixed up. Now you could decide just to have warm colours to make it look like Jesus is really kind of glowing and giving off light. You could decide to have hillside colours as if it's a shepherd on the hillside, so just greens, or you could have blues in the sky and then greens for the hills. So there we are. You can see I've done those. Now I'm going to use this nice bright purple. And again, fill in a few. And it doesn't matter if you need to go back and reuse a colour. It's better to do fewer, I think, with each colour and then see how you get on. Just decide how many colours you're going to want. So there's my purple. And then I could fill in with some blues and greens until the whole thing is done. And I think this is a really nice way to remember that Jesus is our good shepherd. He's so kind, he's so good, but he did lay his life down for us on the cross. So I hope you enjoy making some little stained glass windows, and I will look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye.
I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd sacrifices his life for his sheep. John 10:11.
That's today's verse.
From what we've learned in the story, sheep are pretty dumb. I know it's not a good thing to say about anything or anyone, but still, they are pretty dumb.
You're right though, but think about it. A good shepherd will still sacrifice his life for his sheep.
That's what I'm trying to say. Dumb, dirty, and sometimes disobedient. But yet, the shepherd will still lay his life down for the sheep.
Oh, I get what you mean. We can be rather dumb as human beings. Dirty because of sin and disobedient. And, while still that way, Jesus still sacrificed his life for us.
Yes, and he still looks after us, even though he's risen and in heaven.
Yes, he really is the Good Shepherd. Let's say the verse one more time.
I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd sacrifices his life for his sheep. John 10:11.
That's it for this week.
Till next time, bye.